So your expert, was it Russell Conway? I mean, he's a great expert as well. But the thing is, he didn't mention British people in those qualifications for housing. So does that not count for anything in all this?
No, the point he made was, if you are a British citizen or you have the right to remain, or you are on a work visa, or you are one of the key workers that my previous caller just pointed out, if you are in housing need, you will have an equal opportunity to get on the ladder of social housing as anyone else. You won't be given priority, but you're entitled to it. That was his point.
So obviously, we've got an unlimited migration going on.
No, we haven't.
Who've got medical health issues, children, there are various other issues going on. So a lot of them are always going to get ahead of any British people on that housing need issue thing. So again, being British doesn't count for anything in all this. Yes? So you're quite happy with that, are you?
Sorry, who are the people with kids, God damn them, that are coming in and taking your homes? So just explain to me who these people are.
Migrants with families.
Right. So those would be hang on, would these be the 500,000? These are the 500,000, 600,000 people that came in last year. That's what.
Yes.
Yeah. How did they get here, Peter?
Yeah, yes, legal. It's legal migration. I mean, I'm not saying that. Obviously, we're in a housing crisis. Created by this stupid government, but that doesn't excuse that British people. It should be considered when they're allocated housing that they're British people.
But I'm completely confused. Where have you got the impression that people that don't have a right to be here, that don't have a right to be on social housing waiting lists, where have you got the impression, where is the evidence that they are somehow manipulating the social housing waiting lists?
Yeah, but they're being considered on completely the same level as British people.
Because they have the legal right to be here.
People, it should be considered a qualification that they're British people, and that should be considered in allocating housing.
Why?
Why not? This is Britain.
Because if you live here legally... Let me answer the question, Peter. Let me answer the question. Because under the current system that we have, you will only qualify to be put on the housing waiting list, not even necessarily getting housing, if, number one, you are in need of it. Priority will be given to homeless people, or those living in overcrowded or squalid conditions. Refugees may be allowed to claim social housing, but anyone who is not entitled to benefits, meaning most foreigners in the UK, are excluded. So what is the problem?
Still, obviously, with massive migration, some of them will end up on benefits, and they'll have the various issues that allow them to access to be considered for housing.
What are you?
And that
I'm completely confused.
will be considered on the same level as British people. All I'm saying is it should be considered.
I know. I understand what you're saying. You're saying it should be a factor when considering who gets housing in this country. I'm asking you, upon what evidence do you think your citizenship should be an issue over and above housing need, given over 500,000 people arrived here legally to do the jobs that British people either can't do or won't do? The likelihood is the majority of those people are not going into social housing because, for example, if you have a work visa to come here and you're a professional, for example, you are likely to be earning £30,000 or more. So the chances of you being on a social housing waiting list are minimal.
I'm not considering those. All I'm saying is we're in a housing crisis. Total housing crisis. Russell Conway said that. So it should be considered in allocation.
Why?
Because that's the way it is. We're in a complete housing crisis.
No, that's not the way you say it is.
If things need changing in the law, then they have to be changed.
Why?
Why not? Why not? What have you got against British people, Sangita?
Say that again.
What have you got against British people?
Why are you asking me that question?
I'm just asking you.
Why are you asking me that question?
I'm just asking you. Why you keep, in a lot of your discussions on it, you keep slagging off against British people.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think I am, Peter?
Pardon?
What do you think I am?
I know you're Asian. Yes, I know I think you're British born or you're raised in Britain. I don't
what
know.
am
One
I,
of those,
Peter?
yeah?
If you think
That's
you
nothing
listen
to do
enough,
with it. See, now you're trying to twist it to some sort
no,
of
I'm not.
other
You're losing
issue.
the argument, and you're frankly being a bit of a racist.
You're anti-British a lot of the time.
I'm anti-British. Really? Would
Yeah.
you be saying this to a white person?
Yeah, if they, yeah, I'd say
I don't
this to
believe
some
you, Peter.
people.
I think you're lying.
No, Matthew Wright, he has a go at Britain. And
Have you rung him up? Have you rung up Matthew Wright up and said, why do you keep attacking British people?
Probably not. No, it's not.
How do you know Matthew Wright is British? How do you know Matthew Wright is British? How do you know Matthew Wright is British?
Doesn't it?
Answer the question. How do you know Matthew Wright is British?
Pardon?
You have assumed Matthew Wright is British. How do you know he's British?
I don't know.
No.
I just assume he is from his accent.
No, you don't. You assume he is because he's white. You've assumed I'm not because I'm not white.
No, I haven't assumed anything about you. I'm just saying.
Hang on. You're the one that started all this. You're the one that started all this. You want to go there, Peter? We're going there, right? So you have rung me up and you have said, why are you anti-British? I've asked you why you're asking me that question. Explain.
Why not? What's that?
Explain.
Why are you what have you got against British people being allocated housing?
So you think I hate my own country men and women, or do you really think that they're not my country men and women because deep down you don't think I'm British?
No. So you're trying to twist this into something else.
I'm not. I'm asking a question.
Why shouldn't being British being
You
considered
started
in
it, mate.
housing?
I'm gonna blooming well end it.
Yeah.
Answer
the
question. Oh.
No.
Oh, I've hurt Peter's feelings. What? Oh God. Awful. Anyway,